All right, let's cover water because everyone wants to talk about reverse osmosis is bad. You want carbon filters. You want zero water. What's the right answer? And you're basically looking at factors that don't matter so much. You want the cleanest water possible. So, reverse osmosis water here, when I get water, this water doesn't have a lot of mineral content. It's filtered. It takes out a lot of the contaminants. It takes out your heavy metals. It takes out your BPAs, your PFOAs. It takes out your microbial cysts. And if you're worried about minerals, that machine behind me clusters of water, which your mitochondria do anyway, so you don't need one, but it helps remineralize it. Now, let's talk about the mineral content. The mineral content, there's only about 5% of the calcium that you need daily in water. There's 0.05% iron, zinc, 1%. So when we look at mineral content of the water doesn't really contain the minerals you need. You're getting that from your food. That's why you don't worry about the water. Worry more about the medications that are in the water. Worry more about the plastics that are in the water. Worry more about lead that's in the water. Find the cleanest water source. You can add trace minerals back in the water. That's not a problem. It's the impurity of the water that's a problem. And it's the heavy metals that are in the water that are causing gene expression in the DHFR and the COMT, aluminum, lead. Those are the things you have to worry about. Get the cleanest water possible. I go to my website. If you go to my website, you go to protouchrehab.com. You can go to Crystal. There's a Crystal Quest link there, and you can get the reverse osmosis filter. You can get a whole house filter. You can get just a drinking water filter. You can put a shower filter in because your skin is just as important. You absorb water when you shower. There's chlorine. Chlorine mimics thyroid. So your body thinks it has enough T3. T3 has to convert in your liver to make your sex hormones. So how important is it to just only drink filtered water and not shower in filtered water? It's pretty damn important. You don't want the chlorine that's in that water. It's going to slow down your metabolic rate. Thyroid hormone is necessary for your mitochondrial function to keep the electrons flowing. Remember how I keep talking about cortisol to DHEA levels? And that's the importance of longevity. Well, that's determined by the electron flow in your mitochondria. And T3 is a regulator of that mitochondria function. So you can cut out drinking chlorinated water, but there's other ways to improve your mitochondrial function too. So see, it's more than one factor. Again, it goes back to all the factors of water, food, rest, exercise, mind, environment, posture. Water is just one tool. Sure, get rid of the unnecessary contaminants that are in your water that you shower with, the water that you drink. Probably, brushing your teeth again. What's more important? Minerals are being, 5% or less in the water. How important is it really that big of a deal if you brush your teeth with unfluoridated and unchlorinated water? Probably not that big of a deal. It's so little exposure. It's a nothing burger. But if you want to be perfect, then you do a whole house. You do it as best you can. You always do the best you can. But it's probably, again, You're making a mountain out of a molehill. Just like making a mountain out of a molehill of saying distilled water and reverse osmosis water has no minerals in it. Look, these are trace minerals. You can add those into the water to replace it once you've filtered it. Get rid of the contaminants out of your life as much as possible. Don't depend on municipalities to do it for you and make you think that you're safe, because you don't know. The pipes have dead water. That water is just sitting there. Water is meant to flow. It's meant to move. It's meant to pick up minerals over streams. The sunlight clusters the water. It structures it so it's bioavailable. But your emotions do that too. Your emotions cluster water. They structure water. Sunlight structures water. You see, there's multiple factors to health, and there's multiple ways to do things, and we argue over what's the best way to do it. But again, it always boils down to energy, frequency and vibration that influences the matter. You can change the frequency of food. You can change the flow of electrons through your body so that you can increase cytochrome oxidase and detox. So don't get overwhelmed with all the information in the natural health world. Some things are nothing burgers. Do the best you can. Learn, create knowledge, find someone who knows what they're talking about. Go on forums. A lot of bad information on forums. People don't know what they're talking about. But learn to decipher information. Look at studies. Decide what's right for you. Look at your genes. Implement the factors. But sunlight and your emotions are a bigger deal. Remember, I always talk about the hierarchy. Number 1 is your mind. Number 2 is your environment. Number 3 is your posture. Number 4 is your exercise and movement. Number 5 is the food. Those are bigger deals. But when it comes to water, don't make a big deal out of the minerals. Just eliminate the poisons and toxins as much as possible. Remember, only 1% of the zinc needed comes from the water that you drink. Go eat oysters to get your minerals. Eat broccoli sprouts to get your minerals. Find someone who grows their broccoli sprouts not in tap water, right? So that's the bigger deal. Don't let a little tiny factor detour you from being confused and making no action. Reverse osmosis is probably one of your best choices of water you're possibly going to find.